Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of our weekly coaching webinar. I'm really glad everybody could join us. So today we are on a quest of 2 of 3 video quest, whereas last week we talked about how to do a proper interview. And today we're going to be talking about how to do a proper presentation. Next week we'll be mapping out how to actually go through and close the sale. So this is, for the most part, the 3 aspects of a sale, right? Doing a proper interview, going through, doing a proper presentation, and closing the sale. Now, anybody that's seen our sales process, we involve more steps because we put them into our funnel, and sometimes we have setters call, and we have retention that we do after the sale is made, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll oftentimes see me refer to our sales process as about 8 steps, a little bit more elaborate. But to simplify this and just to make it as easy to execute for you as it could be, it's really 3 steps. You interview somebody to see if they're a good fit for the finance suite, to see if they have the money to pay, to see if it can help solve their problems, et cetera. And we talked about that last week. And you can also find these, I think, in step 4 of the partner training here in Partner Resources. And then how do you present? How do you show them the product to be able to do a presentation so they want to buy? And then how do you get the money from them? How do you pull the money from that potential customer? And that's really how to close. So today we're going to be diving in talking about presenting. Now, unlike last week and next week, I don't have a PowerPoint presentation here because there's not a lot of points I need to go over with you. I just need to show you how to do a presentation. So we're going to start, and we're going to do this a few different ways. First, I'm going to probably get started and walk through and introduce you to several resources we have to help you do presentations. We've now created a bunch of resources that'll help you with the presentation aspect, and I'm going to go through and introduce those to you, explain to you what they are, how they work, how you can use them. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a real demo walkthrough of the finance suite itself, just as I normally would. Why that's important? Because again, when I'm doing live webinars, when I'm speaking in front of large groups, when I'm doing those type of things, I need to know how to do a demo. When you're doing a one-on-one with somebody, you're better off to do a demo than just actually show them a video. So when I first got started selling the finance suite, I went to networking events and I would meet people that are interested, schedule appointments, go right to their office, open up my computer and do a live demo. I still recommend the same, especially when you're getting started, where every lead really matters, when you're grassroots and it's all about building a relationship to make a sale. I think setting an appointment and going through and physically showing the finance suite is an extremely valuable skill that you need to learn. So I'm going to give you both. I'm going to show you today the resources you could use that do the presentation for you. I'm going to teach you how to do a presentation because as you progress, you're going to need to know how to do both. Now, again, don't forget about Premier Partner. You're right here on your home page. You can click to learn more about Premier Partner. Premier Partner is where we do all this for you. So remember, as a partner, you have a couple options. You could make the sale yourself, or you could just refer the customer over. We do all the work, use our credibility to help close the sale, and still pay you $750,000, $1,500, about 25% of whatever we sell the fine, if we make a sale for, you get. Okay, so it's kind of a way for us to split the profits with you without you doing any of the work. And the beginning stages, as you get started, this could really help you. And then in the end stages, it could help you, meaning that I was just at an event where I had a lot of partners that are very, very, very top producers in their industry. They're out there and they used to do a lot of sales with us. Their business exploded and they had less time to do business credit sales. So that's an option for you to make business credit sales as you're getting, or actually have sales made for you, earn commissions while you're getting set up. And even if you don't have time or any other reason, it's a great way to make money without learning the presentation and all these other things. So don't forget that that is a resource for you, and I'll revisit that as we wrap up. So let's dive in first to Partner Resources. Partner Resources Resource Library. I'm not going to go there because I already have that pulled up. As a matter of fact, if I don't think about it, we created a column here called presentations, and presentations has, as you can see here, 4 different types of presentations you could do. So look, we learned many years ago that selling the finance suite means them seeing it. When you try to explain the finance suite, what it does to somebody, then you're going to fail if they don't see it. And here's why: because we all tell pictures and understand things, or we all tell stories and understand things in the form of pictures. And the problem is the finance suite is so unique that if you try to tell people what it does and what it's about, you leave them visually trying to search for a comparison when there is no comparison. So that was a big problem when we first started selling the Finance Suite many years ago. We would try to tell people about it and they'd say, so it's like this, so it's like this, so it works like this. And the things they were associating it to were nothing like what the Finance Suite was. But there's nothing like the Finance Suite, so they were trying to grab the closest thing they could to establish some kind of link so they could visualize what it was. The minute we started physically showing it, really presenting, then what happened was that people immediately wanted to buy. We realized that when they see it, they only have two objections. Affordability, can they afford it? Credibility, do they trust you enough to buy it? Those were the only two objections. They went from not understanding what it was to clearly understanding what it was, clearly understanding how it could help, and then it's just a matter of if they could afford it. The one adjustment, the one tweak, probably the biggest lesson we've learned for many years and 15,000 plus customers served is that they've got to see it, and if seeing it is what sells it. Seeing is what sells it. They see it, they want to buy it. They don't see it, you're done. You're never going to make the sale. So they got to see it. So then we started coming in, and for many years we taught our partners to present. Here's how you present. Here's how you present. Here's how you present. And fewer partners ever succeeded because they got scared of this. They got scared interviewing. They got scared presenting. They got scared closing. That's one of the reasons we rolled out our Premier Partner Program, was to overcome that fear. So then we said, well, let's just do it for you. How can we do it for you? And for years we've tested these different methods to see what works, and we've kind of found what works and created these resources to help. So let me walk through. The very first resource right here is called Finance Suite 2.0 Demo. This is the newest demo version of our Finance Suite. This is so new that from the time of recording this webinar, I just created this less than a month ago. And I constantly update this resource. So when new features roll out that I think need to be in this video, I redo the entire video and I put it up there, which causes great frustration because it's got to be perfect because I'm delivering it for you. And if a 14-minute video literally will take me 4 hours to create because I keep stopping and having to restart it. But I always try to give you about a 12 to 15-minute video that's a complete demo walkthrough of the Finance Suite. People's attention span is short. So this is one of the resources we send. So last week we talked about, when you're talking to somebody and you ask them, how did you hear about us? And they say anything other than what gives you an idea that they know who you are, they've been following you, we ask them, have they seen the Finance Suite as well? And if they haven't seen the product, we immediately send them this video in an email called Business Credit Information we spoke about. And I've talked about this in previous weeks. The business credit information we spoke about just says, hey, it was great talking to you today about business credit. As we discussed, here's a link to a 15-minute video that walks you through and teaches you everything you need to know. And here's another link to our credibility. And that's what I suggest in that email. Give them a link to your credibility. Give them a link to this video itself. Why? Because there's two things, as I mentioned last week, or in the presentation when we talk about doing an interview, there's two things you absolutely must do before you present. You, one, need to make sure they know who you are. They need to know who you are and your reputation, or you won't have credibility and you'll never close a sale. Two, they have to actually have seen the product. Remember, seeing it sells it. So in one email, we knock out both. Bang, here's a link to a video that'll teach you everything you need to know about business credit and how we can help you. And then boom, second thing, here's a link to the credibility of our website so you can learn more about us. And again, if you're using the website we give you that's available in partner resources, we even give you a credibility page. It has testimonials, has videos, it has everything on it you need. So that being said, that's how we do it. If they don't know, if they haven't seen us, if they don't trust us, if they haven't seen the Finance Suite, that's what we send. This is exactly what we send. A 15-minute video just like this. It's exactly the same thing except it has our name mentioned in it. And this is what we send. It's a 15-minute overview. Now, there's a lot of services. You can put this on YouTube. You can put it anywhere else. We use a service called Wistia. WISTIA. It's like 99 bucks a month. We use Wistia because Wistia tells us how long they've seen the video. You could even set up alerts that if they've seen 50% or more of the video, that your sales team gets notified, for example. So Wistia lets you see how much of the video they've actually seen. But again, typically what we do, we talk to somebody, they don't have enough trust in us, they don't know who we are, we send them an email with a link to this video and our credibility. We then schedule a time to follow up and we call them back. This is going to be your primary resource here that's going to walk through the Finance Suite. Now, what does this do? This video is a 15-minute walkthrough of the features and benefits of the Finance Suite. So basically what this is this has me basically doing a demo. So you can see here, I'm walking through step 1. Here's me talking about phone number. Now, notice in this video, I don't have any of your partner resources on the left-hand side. They're only seeing what they would see. Now, we have added a new tab that's not in this video because we just added it called Contact Us. I don't know why we didn't have that before. Kind of common sense. Glad we added that one. But it's not in this video. But everything else that we have is rolled out here, even when it comes to business valuations. So you can see I'm just basically going through demo, Finance Suite, each step. Talk about the credit monitoring, talk about the business credit sources, talk about the financing, even come in, talk about, I think business valuations is in here as well. So we talk about business valuations. So it's a 15-minute overview of here's the product, here's the features, here's the benefits, here's everything you need to know about what you may buy from us. Summarized. Makes it simple, right? So the next resource I want to show you is, and this is the one you're probably going to use more commonly than anything else. The next is the 90-minute sales webinar. Now, our goal as a company is to get people into this. And this is a 90-minute, and by the way, you can see the videos here and you can download them right here. You can see that there's a resource to download it. Obviously, and of course, the minute you click to download, you need to allow some time. Okay, a 90-minute video is not going to download immediately. It's going to take you a few minutes, depending on your computer. It might take you an hour to download, okay, depending on your computer. So give us some time to download. So the 90-minute webinar is much more elaborate. What can we do in 90 minutes that we can't do in 15? A lot. The 90-minute webinar, instead of just showing a demo of the product, the first 60 minutes of this is simply introducing people to the benefits. Here's why most people fail building business credit. Here's what business credit is. Here's how it works. Here's why it's awesome. Here's the benefits. We give tons of proof like this, tons of actually looking at real business credit reports. We have tons of looking at the actual results people have, real approvals. There's about 100 real forms of approval here. There's about 100 forms of what I call social proof, whether it be these real credit reports, whether it be people holding up copies of their business credit cards. Now, all of these resources are white label. So what I mean by that is, we didn't mention our name in any of these resources, so you can easily use them. So the resources are there where it's easy to use, tons of social proof, what business credit is, benefits, right? Why it's awesome. Here's more social proof here. Then we get into the steps. Here's the steps, an overview of the steps to build business credit. Okay, then we go through and after the steps to build business credit and real, even more social proof, and here's more social proof. And then what we do is we roll into a demo. So I'm about an hour long into this before I ever get into a demo. So I set the stage. What is business credit? Here's how it works. Here's the benefits. Here's tons of people that actually got it. Here's their stories. Here's lots of results. Then, by the way, if you have, if you're okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you the fastest way to build business credit. I'm going to show you all these people that got all these results, how they actually did it. So I'm not talking in theory about how it worked, but I'm actually going to show you. And then I come in here and I do the demo, right? And the demo lasts, 15, 20-minute demo here. So the demo is about the equivalent of the 15-minute video, the demo. Then I move into this. This is the close. And this is the entire section of it where I do the close. I come through and I talk about an overview of what you get when you enroll. I talk about all the benefits you get when you enroll and all the things that I include bonuses that already come with the Finance Suite. These are bonuses that we already have anyways. Consultation, credit monitoring, et cetera, et cetera. So then we come in and we basically wrap it up. Now, we wrap it up by saying, follow up with your representative to get started. So there's no call to action. There's no link to a website. It's just follow up with you for more information. So big difference. 15-minute video, hey, here's an overview of what we can do to help you. 90-minute video, hey, here's what business credit is. Here's how it works. Here's the features. Here's the benefits of it. Here's the reasons you want to do it. Here's tons of case studies. Here's an overview of the steps. This is things that you're going to need to know how to do yourself. You're going to have to figure out how to list your own phone number. I'll show you that later. Plenty of those things where then we show them the Finance Suite does all those things for them. Then a full demo, then a reason they should buy, bonuses, all those type of things. So this is a whole entire presentation. People that have been through this Our salespeople don't even have to sell. All they do is say, hey, did you go through the webinar? You did. You watch the whole thing? Okay, great. What questions can I help answer? That's our sales pitch. You already saw our whole pitch. What questions do you have that are relative to you? We answer questions, we overcome objections, we close the sale. So our entire sales funnel is now designed to get people into this 90-minute webinar. If I'm just talking to somebody and I say, hey, what do you know about us? Not much. Okay, well, have you seen our product? No, I don't. No, I haven't. I'm not going to send them to a 90-minute webinar because more than likely they're not going to watch it. But when I get people into my email sequence, into our email funnel, the first thing we try to do is get them into this webinar. Because unlike the 15-minute video where you're still going to have to sell what it's done, if somebody watches this 90-minute webinar, they're pretty committed to buying. They now know everything we wanted to know. Here's what business credit is. Here's decoding it. Here's all the problems you'll have. Here's what it looks like when you're successful and you work with us, and all the things you'd possibly want in a full-blown pitch. So that's where you're going to use those resources. You're probably going to use this more into an email sequence or make it into an automated webinar. EverWebinar, Evergreen. Those are some companies you could use to create automated webinars. All you do with an automated webinar is you take the video, you upload it, and the video becomes a webinar. What's the difference between a webinar and a video? The difference is they can't skip through a webinar. They can skip through a video. If you put this as a video on YouTube and you send them a link to that, they'll just skip through it. But if you send it to them through an automated webinar format like Evergreen or EverWebinar, then what happens is they can't skip through it. It looks and plays just like a real webinar. So if you're using this, you should use Evergreen. You should use EverWebinar or Webinar Jam. Use one of these or GoToWebinar. Now it's expensive, but they have an automated webinar service as well. And I don't know anything about it, never tried it, but use those webinar services. And Evergreen and EverWebinar are fairly affordable. One's like $500 total for the whole thing forever. And the other one I think has a low monthly charge, although I'm not sure what it is because the prices have changed. Set this up as a webinar. And then you could use that to promote on your social media pages. Hey, I'm doing a 90-minute webinar on how to build business credit. Here, check this out. Okay, so use that on social media. Use it to promote to people that have a real big interest. Put it on your sales funnel when they come in to get in there. When somebody says, oh, you know, I want more information after seeing the 15-minute video. Sure, here you go. Here's more information. Here's a 90-minute webinar on the whole topic. So again, if you're just looking to give somebody quick information about what you can do to help them, the 15-minute video is better. If you're talking about embedding something in your funnel to get them all the way through to understand everything you wanted to know about business credit, this 90-minute webinar is the ticket. Now, these other two resources we've never really tested before, but I think they're very good ideas, and so we went ahead and created them. And the 3 video sales series is, for the most part, exactly the same thing as the webinar is. The only difference is I broke it down into 3 separate sections. Because again, most people consume smaller videos. So to give them 90-minute webinar might be too much. You might want to entice them and tease them with a one of a 3 video series. Okay, people have a hard time in our minds starting things that are or not having things completed. We call this open loops when it comes to psychology. People that create open loops and don't close them, our brains don't do well in that scenario. So if you say here's video 1 of 3, well, then they're going to want to watch video 2 of 3 and 3 of 3. Okay, it's one of the best ways to get people to open emails. Here's gift 1 of 3. Well, they open that up, they're going to want to see what gift 2 and 3 are. It's just part of a sequence. Their mind won't allow them to not have that desire. So this is basically a 3 video series that walks through the same thing the 90-minute video does. As a matter of fact, if we look at this, this is what? This is an hour and 10. This is an hour and 40 minutes. It's exactly the same almost as the 90-minute webinar. It's about 10 minutes longer. So what we do is we break it down into 3 sections. The first video is business credit. It's everything about business credit, right? Video 1 of 3. Here we go. You know, it's the same thing. Here's what business credit is, and here's why it's awesome, and here's the steps to build it, right? So this video is, for the most part, really comes from the 90-minute webinar. It's just breaking it down into 3 separate videos. Here's one that teaches you about business credit. Here's another one that teaches you about financing, getting loans, getting credit lines, all the different ways why capital is important. Now, this PowerPoint is not in the 90-minute webinar, but it's very important. This is another one I've done on business funding, right? So this is about the easiest way to get business funding, why capital is important. I love that statistic too. I didn't look at that too. I missed that. That was awesome. I forgot about that stat. That was cool. That stat in there talks about why most businesses fail because they can't access capital. So again, this video just talks about everything to do with getting financing, the statistics of where people typically get money, the statistics of why people get denied for loans. It sets the whole argument of here's what you need to know about money. It's readily available, but it's hard to find. Because if you don't know what kind of money to look for, then like, how are you going to know what to qualify? Well, here's the 3 C's formula we use. And by the way, we can help you with all of this financing. So we introduce them to business credit. We introduce them to financing here, even more than the 90-minute webinar. And then we end with a 30-minute demo walkthrough of the finance suite, right? That's what this is. So that's the flow. It's the same as a 90-minute webinar, but we have one video for business credit, one video for financing, one video walkthrough demo, no presentation, no pitch. There's no pitch in this. So again, where are you going to use this? You can use this in an email sequence. Video 1 of 3 on how to get business credit financing for your business. Okay, maybe don't even show them video 2 unless they've watched video 1. A little bit more complicated for those of you that are novices. That's not an option for you. For those of you with some experience with CRMs like Infusionsoft, etc., it's very simple to do. You would set each one of these up in their own campaign or put this main first one. And again, soon to come video 2. Look at this. At the end of each video, we even go over all the stuff you're going to want to see on the next video to get them excited. So if I were going to put this in Infusionsoft, in my CRM, I would put in video 1, this one, into the email sequence. Video 2 and 3 would be their own separate campaigns. And then they would only be able to trigger this video if they watched video 1. They would only watch video 3 if they watched video 2. And I could do that a bunch of different ways. I could use Wistia, where Wistia tells me if they completed it. And we could use Wistia to assign a tag to API with Infusionsoft and to assign a tag to trigger that other campaign for video 2. We could just in Infusionsoft have a tag that the minute they click and open this video, that will then give them the ability to get video 2 and not the next day, for example. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Or you might just want to put them all in the email sequence. Video 1, video 2, video 3. Don't gate them. It's called gated if they can't get to the other videos. So don't gate them. There's a lot of ways to do this. Jeff Walker does it where you watch video 1 and then you get a notification a day later to watch video 2 and a day later to watch video 3. There's so many uses of this. It's ridiculous. Jeff Walker does probably one of the best. He gates the videos. You got to watch video 1, then you can watch video 2 a day later, then video 3 a day later. He even puts time in between the time that he delivers those emails, or just drop them in your sequence if you don't want to be that advanced. Or again, email them out when people want more information. Hey, here's the first information on business credit. When you're ready for video 2, let me know and I'll send you over that video as well. And you could email it to them one at a time manually. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But again, if I have somebody that's interested in enrolling and I'm trying to find the fastest way to be able to walk through what we do, this ain't it. An hour and 40 minutes is not it. This is almost used for marketing. It's used for people that get the 15-minute video and say they want more information. No, I want more. I need more details. Okay, here's video 1 of 3. Take a look at it. When you get through it, let me know and I'll send you video 2. That way they have to come back to you and send video 2. Okay, so again, a really pretty cool way to do it. The nice thing about this is you can do it through text as well. Hey, I'm going to text you the first video of a 3-video series, and if it makes sense, I'll send you video 2 and 3. Just text me back, let me know when you've seen it. Text them the link to where it is on YouTube, for example. Have them watch video 2, they text you back to get to video 2, video 3. So a lot of different uses for this. I've went through some of them, but again, 3 different videos that walk through and show you the whole finance suite. And then finally, that brings us to the final resource, which are called professional marketing videos. And again, these are things that we have not tested, but I feel pretty good about the potential here. You could see significantly shorter, right? This is a 6-minute, 40-second video. This is a 12-minute video. So here's where these came from. I love multi-level marketing. I've never been part of multi-level marketing. I've never sold for it, and I don't think I ever would. But I love multi-level marketing because I like how they market. I like their structure. I like how they build teams and how they sell. And there's so many cool things about multi-level marketing that we can all pick up and adopt in our businesses. I've read, I don't know how many books on multi-level marketing, even though I have no interest in multi-level marketing. I just like how they do what they do. I think there's a lot of things. So this guy tries to get me into a multi-level marketing. And what he did was he got my number, I gave it to him, and he sent me a text, and the text had video 1, and it was about 7 minutes that briefly explained what they do. Then after I watched it, then he sent me video 2, and video 2 was more in-depth walkthrough of how they do what they do. And the video wasn't just a demo, it was like used professional imagery, professional video behind it with screenshots of their actual technology embedded in the video. I thought, I love that. That's brilliant. It took me 6 months to get these 2 done because it was elaborate. The scripts to get these things done, these things are like 4, 5, 7-page scripts. Then we had to get the voiceover and get it all perfect and then actually get the videos. But this is what we came up with. So 6-minute video, we're using professional imagery here, as you can see. And then we have a professional voiceover that walks through and talks about the problems business owners see. Now, as you can see, we then also, as we're talking about what the Finance Suite could do to help them, we're then including software. So this isn't a software demo because we're not showing them all the features. Instead, we've got a 6-minute video with voiceover explaining the problems business owners face, the frustration it causes, how we fix it with business credit. And it really is a combination of these kind of videos that walk through the Finance Suite. You can see text overlays there. And then also as we go through, we can just see this kind of stuff too. The professional video imagery with some text overlays in it, and then with shots of the Finance Suite then included. Now, if you listen to this, it's phenomenal. There's great music in the background. The voiceover's the same guy that does commercials for GM. The video's very professionally done. So again, the nice thing about this is that these videos kind of give you a demo walkthrough of the Finance Suite, but with this other professional video imagery, with the professional voiceover, with the soundtrack at the back. So again, the idea here is that you can go to somebody, if you don't want to just give them a 12, 15-minute demo, well, then test this out. Send them a 6-minute video that walks through everything you do and let them know if they're interested and that makes sense that you'll send them something else because it's only 6 minutes, right? The next one's 12 minutes. Now, the next one's very similar, but again, what it's basically doing, I'm sure there was a way I could turn off the volume on this thing. Let me see if I can turn off the volume. No, I can't. Okay, so you can see, and I wish I could play this, but it's such a distraction to have that noise in the background because I can't turn off the volume. But okay, so with this, I'm going to remove my headset. So with this, you can see it's a professionally done video, and this is 12 minutes, and it walks through much more in depth exactly what we do. So it's a professionally done video, but again, unlike the first video that's only 6-minute overview, this is much more in depth about what we do. Okay, so again, the 6 minutes meant to just tickle them a little and say you have an interest here or not. And if they do, well, then you can easily send the 12-minute video right after that, which is an overview of everything they need to know about what we can do to help them, incorporating the Finance Suite, text overlays, and really, really, really impressive video imagery, as you can see here. So completely different formats you can use, but a lot of different way that we've now automated presentations for you. You can use the 12-minute videos like we do, which is what I think you should do. You can use the 90-minute vet webinar for people that are really interested to really make sure that you get the whole presentation done, dramatically simplifying your ability to sell. You can use the 3-video series, again, just to come in and do the same thing as a webinar, embed them in your email sequences, or maybe give somebody information for video 1 and see how interested they really are to see if they ask for video 2 or video 3. Or you can use these, which is a completely different approach altogether. Short 6-minute, short 12-minute, tons of information about what we can do to help them in both. And you could even use these in the 3-video series through text as well. Okay, and I think that that's pretty impressive. So it's easy for your salesman to use too. You put these on YouTube, you write up a few texts to say, hey, thanks for your time today. Wanted to talk to you more about business credit. Check out this 6-minute video. And then give them video 2 and video 3, and they could just text people. because again, most people respond to text. You can use it in Facebook Messenger, et cetera, but completely different formats and easy ways to simplify the process of you being able to come in and automate your sales process. So when we look at this, you got a ton of resources now that you've never had in recent times to be able to walk through the demo for you. I recommend you use this one mainly, as we talked about. Finance Suite 2.0 demo, it will be your most wildly used. I recommend you embed this in your email sequence. And if you're an ultimate customer, we already do that for you in your active campaign sequence. And I recommend that your entire goal in life is to get people into your email sequence so they see that webinar, and people that want more information that you think will stick around for a 90-minute webinar, show them this resource, but make sure you set it up as a webinar, not as a video. Okay, Evergreen, EverWebinar, Webinar Jam, GoToWebinar, those are some automated webinar services. The 3 video series, again, very good, an hour and 40 minutes, a business credit walkthrough, financing walkthrough, why you need both, how it works, and then one final video that demos the entire finance suite. These 3 together can be very powerful, used through Facebook Messenger, used on your social media channels, used on in your email sequence, just used to piece together the information for somebody. Maybe you really want to see if they're interested. Send the first video and tell them to let you know when they're ready for the second. If they never tell you they're ready for the second, they're probably not that interested. Same with professional marketing videos, designed for the purpose of being delivered through text. These are very short, 6 minutes and 12 minutes, completely different walkthrough and look that we've ever seen before, walking through the finance suite, tons of information about what we can do to help them there. And again, these are things that you or your sales team could deliver on social media, through text, in your email sequences, as well as sending them to people as they're interested. So a lot of ways you could do presentations, but let me show you how I do a real physical presentation as we wrap this up over the next 30 minutes. So now I've given you a lot of ways you can use the resources we've created for you to do presentations, to make it easier than it's ever been. But you still need to know how to present, because as I said, we do a lot of our selling through webinars now. We do a lot of our selling at events. If you're going to speak at events, if you're going to sell through webinars, if you're going to do one-on-one presentations, all of which I recommend, you need to know how to do a live demo walkthrough of this system, and that's what I want to walk you through now. So I'm going to do some sidebars here to give you some tips of what I'm saying, but for the most part, I'm going to show you a demo just like I would do a demo for a customer. Now, I'm obviously, if I was doing a real demo, well, if you were doing a real demo, you won't show a lot of the features that I won't show because they're related to partners, but I'm going to show you a demo exactly like I walk through and show potential customers, and I do during webinars, and I do during seminars, and our team does on one-on-one presentations when we have people at seminars. We crush it at seminars, and here's why. Because what we do is we get people interested and we sit them down at our table and we do a live walkthrough demo like I'm going to show you right there at the table. Then other people see people sitting there watching, and then they come and crowd around, and before we know it, we're doing one demo walkthrough for 5 or 10 different people. So this can be very powerful, especially for events, especially for webinars, and especially as you're getting started when you're doing maybe one-on-one presentations where you're pitching people one at a time face-to-face. Any of that can be of value. So here's how we go. I'm going to jump in and do this. So when I first get started, I'm going to tell you this and present just like I would a normal customer. And then I might say sidebar to kind of give you some inside tips that wouldn't be like I would present to a customer, but just to tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. So Mr. Customer, this is it. This is the finance suite. This is the most comprehensive financial solution in the world today. Sidebar. I like that phrase. I've used it for years. The most comprehensive financial solution in the world today. Why? Because it is. It's comprehensive. Every aspect of financing is there. Okay. So I like to call it that. You may call it something else, but that's just the way I call it. So this is the most comprehensive financial solution in the world today. As we talked about, there's 2 main things the finance suite will do for you. One, we help you build business credit. This is credit that's built for your business EIN that's not linked to your personal Social Security number. It doesn't require a personal credit check. It doesn't require a personal guarantee. Sidebar. When I talk about business credit, I always mention those 2 benefits, and here's why. Somebody with bad credit, no personal credit check means something to them. It's very valuable. Somebody with good credit, No personal guarantee means something to them because you have a little bit of an ego when you have good credit and you don't want to attach the personal guarantee. A lot of people think they shouldn't because they have good credit. So I always say you can, when I talk about it, get business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. I always mention those two benefits because one appeals to people with bad credit, one appeals to people with good credit. By saying both, I cover my bases. The Finance Suite also helps you get aspect through every legitimate funding program available today, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. First, let me kind of walk you through and talk to you a little bit about how we help you build business credit. So business credit, as we talked about, is linked to your EIN, not your social. This is credit you can get even when you can't get business loans, even when you can't get credit lines, and even when you can get loans and credit lines. Your business credit quality is going to determine the rates and the terms you're going to pay. Sidebar. You see how I'm still trying to cater to both audiences here. I'm mentioning that you can get this even when you can't get a loan or credit line. But if I'm talking to somebody that can get a loan or a credit line, I don't want to just leave it at that. So that's when I also say it also determines the rates and terms you'll pay on the financing you can get. Now, continuing with my sidebar, if you've done a proper interview, you already know the industry. You know what they're looking for the money for. You know their pain points. You know what their life is going to look like when the pain points are solved. You also know whether they can get financing or not. By now, if you've done a proper interview, you already know their revenue. You already know their credit scores. You might have already asked them about collateral. So going into this presentation, I'm going to cater it different. Based on the industry somebody's in, I'm going to cater it different based on whether or not I think they can or can't get financing. Okay, so meaning when I'm talking about this right here, if I have somebody that I know can't get financing, then I'm going to pitch them completely different than somebody that can. Here, I'll give you an example. Here's how I'm going to show this to somebody that cannot get financing. I'm going to say the beautiful thing about business credit is that even though you can't get financing because you don't have any cash flow and you don't have good credit and you don't have collateral, you can still get business credit. So the way I explain it, Mr. Customer, is that since you don't have cash flow, credit, or collateral as your strength, you and I need to create a strength that helps you get money. Makes sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Business credit's how we're going to do it. Because by building business credit, it helps you make you more lendable. Now, sidebar, I never tell people just because they build business credit, they're going to get loans because it's just BS. It's not true. When you want a loan, there's many factors that come into play, credit being only one of them. So you never want to tell people that it will help them or that it will get them loans. But I always tell them, look, it helps you become more lendable, which is 100% true because lenders are looking at these business credit reports even on deck to determine approval. Okay, so this will help you become more lendable. And the cool thing is you're getting high limit accounts as you're going through this. So we're going to get you money while we're also helping you become more lendable. Make sense? Yeah, makes sense. Now, if I'm going to go the other way with a customer that can get money, I'm going to say, look, you're going to be able to probably get some financing through here too. I'm going to talk to you about that in a few minutes. But business credit's important because it gets you access to even more money. And it also helps you get the best rates and terms on the financing you get. That's what you're looking for, right? You're not just looking for money. You want money at the best terms, right? Simple question, right? Everybody's going to say yes to that. So, well, that's what business credit helps you do. It helps you get money and then helps you get the financing you're looking for at the best terms. So we break this down to a simple 7-step system. Okay, we on all the way through from setting up your business credibly to getting high limit Visa cards, MasterCards, auto vehicle financing. Now, there's a lot of cool things about the finance. One of the first things is that we break this down into simple subsections for you, as you can see. Why? Look, you and I both know you're busy. And I know that you may only have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes at any given time to get something done. By breaking this down into sub steps, it lets you do things easy as you have time. You maybe just knock out business name today. Tomorrow you knock out address. The next day you knock out entity. One day you knock out all three. That's up to you. By breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, it makes it easy for you to use and to consume as time permits. So as you can see here, do you have a business name? Well, this is completely customized user experience. Sidebar. That's exactly what I call it. Customized user experience. Then I explain what it means. By that, I mean that if you have your business name, you simply enter it here, you click save and continue, and you move on to the next step. But if you don't have a business name, then we'll provide these short video training, 4 minutes, 48 seconds here, that walk you through everything you need to know about your business name. And I usually click through sidebar on the video so they can kind of see some of what content that's in the video. And you can see that the videos kind of outline in short videos everything you need to know. Now, you can even come here and click learn more. Okay, and you can access resources such as the Secretary of State records to see if to actually set up your business with your Secretary of State. You can access high risk industries. You might not know that the industry you choose, the business name you choose, can restrict you from getting financing. We're going to walk through all high risk industries here so you could see, you could choose a name and try to choose an SIC that means that you will get access to money. Okay, again, you're even able to come in and click resources and access resources like by corporation who will help you through the process. Now, not only can you navigate this through English, but if you click down here to the bottom and you just click English to Spanish, as you can see, voila, the entire finance suite changes to Spanish. Okay, you can also come right here and in one click, you can come and click closed caption, choose Spanish, and it'll even put closed captioning on this as well. Now, sidebar, you may want to ask them before then, or before you even show them that feature, if they speak Spanish or have somebody else that will be helping them do this that does. Okay, if not, just show them the feature. There's no harm in that. The fact that you could just switch it from English to Spanish looks cool, and it shows the versatility of the software, so it's not going to hurt you. So in step one, the very first thing we're doing here is we're helping you set up this business credibly, as you can see. So Mr. Customer, look, what we're doing is credit issuers and lenders all have a secret set of standards. Sidebar, I get quiet here because when something's secret, it's kind of what people do, right? And what happens is when you quiet and your tonality and it kind of becomes like this, then the psychology is people lean in and listen a little more. So what I do here in step one, Mr. Customer, is we're helping you actually meet lending criteria before you even apply. Look, a lot of people don't know this, but lenders and credit issuers have a secret criteria that you've got to meet before you can even get approved. Now, you probably already know that because you've applied for a credit card and got an immediate approval, or got that dreaded message that you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days. Sidebar, I love that line and I go with it all the time. And here's why. Because we all can relate to that. I bet you every person on this call has got that dreaded message that you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days. And you have that icky feeling. If you can relate to it, you might even relate to it right now. And then you get the thing in the mail and it tells you get denied. That's something people can relate to. It's a negative experience. People want to avoid that. So talking about that here explains that the objective is to get them automated approvals instead of denials. Sidebar over. So you've got that message before, more than likely, or again, well, you've applied before and got one of those two things. You got an immediate approval and it tells you the limit that you get, or you get that dreaded message that you'll hear by 7 to 10 days. And that's never good, is it? Right? So you already know that lenders and credit issuers aren't manually looking at the information you enter online. A computer's doing it, right? That makes sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. What we're doing in step one is what lenders and credit issuers won't do. We're telling you what those computers are looking for. Because by understanding their algorithms, we can program in information that's acceptable where they issue an automated approval. And that's my goal for you. The Finance Suite's designed to get you fast approvals. As a matter of fact, it's designed to take years of business credit building and condense it down into only months. Sidebar, love that line as well. That is the main line that we now use to market. We take years of business credit building and condense it down into only months. And I say that throughout my presentation, as you'll see here. So we take years of business credit building and condense it in only months, and this is one of the ways we do it, by making sure that you meet underwriting requirements before you even apply, to make sure that you meet the approval standards that lenders and credit issuers have before you even fill out an application. So after we've helped you set up your business name, we also help you set up your business address. So for example, a lot of business owners don't know that using a PO box or a UPS address can get them denied. Sidebar, I love that. Because the reason I'm saying that here is because most people do not know that. So the minute they hear that, they say, oh crap, like what else am I doing or don't I know that's getting me denied? We're already letting them in that we have the secret sauce that if they use it, they can succeed. And if they failed before, which let's be honest, they wouldn't be talking to you if they hadn't failed before. They probably failed because they didn't have the secret sauce. So in step 2, we're helping you get set up with the right address. A lot of people don't know that PO box and UPS address can get you denied. So we're talking to you about the addresses that you need to actually get approved. And then we're helping you even get set up with things like virtual addresses if you need to help make you more lendable. We're helping you set up your entity. For example, a lot of business owners don't know that certain entities, you're always going to be liable for what happens in your business. So we help you navigate that. Sidebar, I didn't tell them the entities here, did I? You want to leave some questions open in their mind that they know they can only get solved when they go through the system. We also help you even get your phone number set up. Now, a lot of business owners don't know that you've got to have a phone number set up, a fax number, and your phone number needs to be listed with 411. Well, you can't just go to 411 and list your phone number. And that the reason for that is because 411.com is not even 411. It's why lenders and credit issuers look at 411 because they know only credible businesses have it. So in the finance suite, we help you come in and get set up with 411 quickly by entering yes, you want to. You enter your phone number and we move on. We use a service called List Yourself. They charge $360 a year for this. But we go ahead, it's part of the finance suite. It's not something you have to pay because it's so important. After that, we help you come in and go through and know the licensing you need to get set up, your website, your bank account, everything you need to know about bank references and everything to set up your business credibly, we help you with in step 1. Sidebar. Notice I did not open every step. There's no reason to. I hit on main steps here. Business name. In business name, I typically introduce them to the Spanish and English option. The fact that it's a customized user experience. Okay, here's some restricted industries. The restricted industries, again, it creates curiosity. Now people are going, holy crap, like I didn't know there was restricted industries. Then you jump off the screen faster than they can actually take a screenshot or write it down. And they're like, oh man, I don't even know if I'm restricted industry now, right? I come in and I touch upon business address, but oftentimes don't even open it. Or sometimes I do just so I can reference the fact that certain addresses get them denied. One more tip they typically didn't know. Okay, then I don't open entity. I definitely do open 411 because I want to show them how easy we make it to list with 411 and explain that we do it for free and it saves them $400. So instantly they're like, well, I just saved $400 a year. So I start going ahead and putting the value proposition together here. And I skip every other step and do not open it. I just briefly explain what we do in those steps. So after we've set up that business credibly, the next thing we need to do is get you set up with the business credit reporting agencies. And the very first thing we do here is we help you do a check with Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet to even see if your business exists now. And here's why. Experian and Equifax, for example, will give you a failing business credit score even when you have absolutely no business credit. So what we need to do is do a free check here to see if you're actually set up with the reporting agencies now. Because if you are, and again, this is up to you whether you want to do it or not. While I'm talking, I oftentimes come in and just do a quick search here. And I say, if you are, well, then you probably need to get a business credit report. Now notice, Mr. Customer, you can see right here that I can choose between my company and another company. Here's where it gets scary. It gets scary because your business credit information is public knowledge. Your customers, your clients, your prospects, potential investors in your business, lenders, credit issuers, anybody that wants it can look at it without your permission. See, I could look at your company right now if I want to. Okay, so once you do a free search, it's going to tell you whether or not you have any trade lines or a credit profile and score reporting now. So you can see here, they know who we exist. You can see we have trade lines. So we're going to do this free search because what you might not know is that if you have no credit reporting, you could still be issued a failing score. The failing score literally depicts your risk of going bankrupt. That means just because you have no business credit, lenders and credit issuers are saying that your risk score is so high that you're about to file bankruptcy because the bureaus say that by not having business credit, you're that high of a risk. Again, that scares somebody, and it is 150% true. We also in this step help you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet, including getting your DUNS number. Okay, now Dun & Bradstreet will try to charge you $1,500 to $2,000 for your DUNS number and to activate your credit profile. But in this step, we help you get your DUNS, and the next step, we help you activate your credit profile, and it saves you that $1,500 to $2,000 that Dun & Bradstreet may charge. Sidebar, you got to be careful with this wording. You can get a DUNS number and activate the credit profile without paying Dun & Bradstreet any money. You don't have to pay them to get those things. That's why I always say Dun & Bradstreet will try to charge you $1,500 to $2,000 for these things. We're giving them to you without you having to pay that money. I'm not telling them you have to pay it. I'm saying they're going to try to charge you that. And if you want to be even safer, then tell them. Say, look, there's ways around it. And however you want to word it. For me, I don't even bother. I say flat out, D&B is going to try to charge you $1,500 to $2,000. Now, for example, I had a 90-minute webinar the other night, and somebody said in the comments, they go, I didn't pay Dun & Bradstreet any money to get my DUNS number. You know what happened? 7 people responded that did to the comment. They said, I did. I spent $1,500 with D&B. I spent $2,000. I spent this. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing. So it was a perfect example. For every one person that knows you can get the DUNS for free, there's 10 other people that paid or don't know. So again, I always say, look, they're going to try to charge you. We help you get that for free. Again, value proposition we're establishing. Now that we've set up your business initially, got you set up with the reporting agencies, next we start building real business credit here in step 3. Now, the Finance Suite has more vendor sources than anywhere else available on the planet. And what vendors are is vendors, well, actually, now I have to zoom out a little to even these up. Vendors are companies that will help you get initial business credit even when you have no business credit established now. And the Finance Suite has more of these sources than anywhere else. And here's why. We help create them. What we do is we help budding companies that have great products and services you could use. We help them get the ability to report. And then that way you have access to services and products you could actually want and need, and you build business credit at the exact same time. So a lot of these sources you won't find in forums, you won't find anywhere else because we helped create them, and it makes it easier for you to build an initial business credit. Sidebar, you know why I did that, right? I'm doing it because I'm saying, look, if you're trying to build business credit from forums and all this other stuff, you're going to fail because you don't have all the sources, all the information we have here. Now, you can also see here, Mr. Customer, that again, we specialize in taking years of business credit building and condense it down to only months. And here's how we do it. One, for every source, we list exactly who they report to and what they sell. And here's the reason for that. Sources that report to multiple reporting agencies count as multiple accounts, which help you expedite your business credit building. So by quickly being able to see how many sources a company reports to, you'll know which ones to apply for. We also list the underwriting guidelines for every source. This isn't publicized anywhere. You're not going to go to their website. You're not going to find this details anywhere. Why? We formulated relationships with the underwriter where we get this data and keep it up to date. It's worth its weight in gold. Think about it. Have you ever applied for a loan or a credit card where on the application page they told you exactly all their underwriting conditions you must meet to get approved? No. Have you ever seen that? No, right? Wouldn't it have been helpful? Wouldn't it be helpful if you went to apply for a credit card and here you said, this is the 12 things that we're looking at to approve you? It'd help you, right? Well, that's exactly what we're doing here. By knowing the underwriting requirements before you apply, you'll know you meet the requirements before you apply. So most people fail building business credit because they spend 20 minutes filling out an application, they apply, they get denied, they try to apply somewhere else, they get denied, they apply somewhere else, they get denied, they maybe apply somewhere else and luckily get approved. Same cycle. So for every account they get approved for, it takes hours of time and sometimes weeks or months to even see if they got approved or get the accounts they need. Here, we're telling you what it takes to get approved, so you can only apply for accounts that you know you can get, which is how we take years of business credit building and condense to months. Now, we also make this orange. If this was gray, it means you don't meet the requirements we have. It's a second way that we help make sure you're applying for accounts you can get and expedite the process. The third is we tell you how many accounts you need on each tier, so you know how many accounts you need reporting to get it. And fourth, we map it out tier by tier by tier. So there's 4 ways in these steps that we're making sure that you're only applying for credit you can get, taking years of this process and combining it to only months. So there's t-shirts, there's SEO services, there's gas stations, there's phone services, there's website design, there's places like Quill that sell 1 million products. Also, you can easily find products and services you want and need while building your initial business credit. Now, Once you get a handful of these accounts, the next thing is we need to start monitoring the business credit, because we need to see that these accounts are actually appearing on your business credit reports. So in this step, what we do is we actually help you come in and monitor your business credit and read your business credit reports. Now, business credit monitoring can get expensive, and you have to have it. You have to have it because you need to see that you have 5 trade lines, for example, reporting on your business credit reports, so you know you have enough accounts to then start applying for the next tier of credit. So Dun & Bradstreet charges you about $150 a month to get credit monitoring, okay? And you'll also need to get Experian, which is about $50 a month. I come here and I show them so they can see right from Dun & Bradstreet's website itself that sidebar, by the way, that this is $149 a month. I show them. I say, look, here's Dun & Bradstreet. It's $149. Okay, and Experian's $50. So it's $210 for you to be able to monitor your business credit. Now, I'm going to show you a way you could save a ton of money here in just a second, Mr. Customer. Now, in this step, what we're also helping you do is we're also helping you understand how to read your business credit reports. Look, business credit reports are confusing. Some of your reports may have 5 scores on them. They don't have creditors' names on them. They just have the type of account you have. Okay, they have a bunch of differences, like they don't even list your limits on your credit cards. They list your actual balances or your recent balances. So these videos, we explain how D&B, how Experian, how it affects credit monitoring, or how their credit reports actually work. Because if you know how the reports and scores work, they're easy to control and master, so you could have good business credit very quickly. Now, remember how I told you I was going to help show you how we save you money with business credit? Well, if we come here, we can also, in this step, help you get credit monitoring and save 90%. Now, by the way, that one didn't work. I have a different system I use for Pixar, although I usually test it before I start a presentation, and you can see right here that my dashboard for Pixar isn't working, so I can't do that. But this is the point where I show them the NAV report. And I said, look, we help you get business credit reports through our partnership with NAV, with Experian and D&B, and we help you do so at only $24 a month. When you're a customer, it's $24 a month. You just saw it was $200 a month to go with Experian and D&B directly. So we save you 90% on credit monitoring. We save you basically $2,200 a year. We save you in credit monitoring. Think about that. We save you $2,200 a year in credit monitoring. We save you $1,500 to $2,000 with Dun & Bradstreet. We save you $400 with List Yourself. So you're starting to see how all of this is really going to add up. Now, by the way, sidebar, this is where I show Experian report on NAV. I show Dun & Bradstreet report. I scroll down. I show some actual accounts and show summary data. I show all that, but like I said, my Pixar is disconnected, and I don't probably have a chance to get that fixed before we're all done here. So I'm going to skip that part of it. Okay, so after we've done this, after we verify these accounts are reporting on your business credit reports, well, now we have fun. That's what we do. Now we come in, and now you actually have the ability to come in and get all different kind of credit. Now, Mr. Customer, I grade these out on purpose because I want to show you what it looks like when you cannot qualify, when you don't have enough accounts reporting, so you'll see. And you can see that credit with just about everywhere, from gas stations like Wawa and 7-Eleven all the way to places like ORR Safety and grocery stores like Meijer and Amazon, Staples, and AutoZone, Budget. You can see all the different types of credit you can get here. Now, sidebar. What I like to do is look at the bottom of my screen here, and I like to see this separation. When I see this right here, I know I'm at the end of the list. I know there's no third one here, and I kind of scroll down and I end right here at the bottom where they can't even see that bottom row where there's only 2, because I want them to kind of think that it goes on endlessly. I never want to get to the end. And I do that in every step. I say, and then as we continue to build business credit, you get more and more accounts. And you can see that almost all major retailers offer this credit without a personal guarantee and credit check. And I throw out names of the big ones: Walmart, Home Depot. Now, sidebar, I should know what industry the person's in, which makes this a lot easier at this point. If you're in credit repair, well, I'm going to talk to you about Office Depot. I'm going to talk to you about Staples. I'm going to talk to you about Walmart and Amazon. If you're in the construction industry, I'm going to talk to you about Tractor Supply. I'm going to talk to you about Home Depot. I'm going to talk to you about Lowe's and Sears, right? So by the industry they're in and what they're going to need the money for, it's easier here if you know those things. Hey, Mr. Customer, being in credit repair, you need office supplies, right? You need ink, you need the computers, you need paper, you need pens. Well, you can get all that stuff at Amazon. You can get all that at Office Depot and Lowe's and Walmart. This is all the kind of credit that's designed for you. Imagine getting $10,000, $20,000 limit accounts at those kind of places, what that could do for you. Hey, you're in the trucking industry. How much does it cost you to fill up your truck? $700? Would it help you to have a $20,000 limit Shell account? Would it help you to have an account at Spanx, to have an account at Platt? Would it help you to have an account with Chevron and Sinclair? So again, relate the sources to the industry that they're in. And you can see it goes on and on and on with all the different types of credit you can get. Again, sidebar, I never try to get to the bottom. I always try to look here and end it before I get to that third row where I know there's not a lot there. And we get you all the way to the end. Visa cards, MasterCards, cash credit, auto vehicle financing, all of this is available. And again, you can get it all without personal guarantee, without personal credit checks. Now, when I get to this part, I say auto vehicle financing, MasterCard, Visa card, cash credit, all this type of credit you can get without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. And then I go to 7.2 and show that aspect as well. Okay, now to wrap up, I say, and on top of all of this, the Finance Suite also plugs you into every legitimate funding product that's out there today. We work with over 1,000 lenders and every legitimate funding product. So what that means for you is two things. We can help you get approved when you commonly can't get approved at other sources. If you go to a bank or alternative lender, they only deal with one or two products. If you don't qualify, you don't qualify. Being that we deal with 30, 35 plus products, we have a chance of getting you qualified for when you can't get approved other places, and we get you qualified for more money. We have a lot of clients that come in to get $500,000, $1 million, over $1 million, because we're combining different kinds of funding products to help them get more money. So for example, we can help you get financing to purchase equipment or use equipment you already have as collateral to get financing. We help you get up to $150,000 in startup funding based on your credit or that of a guarantor. And you can see we list the underwriting guidelines and the terms and the rates and everything you would need to know along the way. We can get you financing based just on your revenue, regardless of credit, and private equity, and we can get you 401k, and all these types of financing are all available in one place. Now, sidebar, I forgot, usually when I present business credit at the end of step one, this is what I say. And we help you through this process with our actual business advisors. And our business advisors are not customer support. You can call, email, chat. Yeah, you could do all that. But we also reach out to you. We'll call you 5 times the first 5 days to help coach you through the process. We'll stay on the phone with you through step 1 till you get step 1, 2, 3 even done to help expedite you through the process. Now back to where I would be in this point. And you're not alone. We have finance officers that help you with every single aspect of the actual of obtaining financing. We never charge you a dime to get financing. You're going to pay normal rates and terms that lenders pay, but we even negotiate that for you because we do so much volume. We're able to go to the lenders, get discounted rates that we then pass on to you, make it even cheaper to get financing with those sources than you'd be able to get on your own. So whenever you need money, you contact your finance officer. They develop a finance blueprint of all the money you can get now and work with you on a strategy to get even more money in the future, to even graduate you to things like SBA loans. So the bottom line is, when you have the Finance Suite, you never need access to money again. It's that simple. We help you with every aspect of building business credit to get the most money and get best rates and terms on the money you do get. And then we also help you with getting every different kind of loan and credit line as well, so you never need to worry about getting money again. And we even keep an eye on the value of your business as well. By coming in now, sidebar, when I do this, I already have this pulled up. Whenever I do a webinar, I always do this. This is exactly what I do. I have this pulled up before I do it. So I come in, I choose software publishers. I just choose anything. I don't care. Okay, test. I'm sorry, whoever has test at test.com, I feel bad for you. Can you imagine the person that has test at test.com as his real email address? I apologize every time I use that fake number. Okay, so, or that fake email. Okay, so I'm going to come in, just choose a bunch of stuff, whatever, don't care. And then I'm going to go through to get to this step. And then what I do is I just put in numbers that are reasonable, maybe 500,000. And I just do that because I want it to be things people can relate to. And I just do, all I'm looking for is this. That's too high. So let me see if I could lower that. And I do this before it even starts. So what I'm trying to figure out here is 45,261. What I want is that, because that's reasonable. 5, 6, 700,000. You know, I don't want to show some 12 million value. A lot of people can't relate to that. And then what I do is I have this pulled up already. And then I say, we even help you keep an eye on the value of your business, because as your business grows and having money, we're going to help you grow. Remember, now we're telling you, we're going to help you grow and your business is going to become more valuable. You need to keep an eye on it. It's going to become so valuable, you're going to get access to money. And by doing so, you can click here and you can come in, enter some information as I've done here, and see the real value of your business. Here's the cool part. As this information changes, as you can see up here in the top right, as the information changes, so will your value. So at any given time, you can enter your information to keep a real idea of what the value of your business is. So that's it, Mr. Customer. As you can see, the most comprehensive financial solution in the world today. The Finance Suite helps you with every aspect of building business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your Social Security number. And we save you thousands and thousands of dollars in the process, because you don't have to pay for things like your DUNS number and expensive credit monitoring and 411 listings and all that stuff that would normally be involved if you do it on your own. And we also help you access every legitimate kind of financing in one place, so you never need to worry about money again. We even help you know what needs to be done to get to the next step. And you don't just have a system that walks you through this step by step and that's mobile friendly and you can use it on the fly like you can. We also make sure that you have the help with business advisors and a finance team that will help you with every aspect of getting business credit and getting financing. Sidebar, I'm done. That's it. With sidebars, I went 30 minutes here. So without sidebars, a good demo presentation should be about 10-15 minutes. And you saw exactly how I was able to do it. I hit on finance, I hit on business credit, I make sure I show those business credit reports in that step. I hit on valuation, and that's it. I'm done. Now, if I'm doing a demo, of course, I'm showing the partner program, but you're not going to show that. It doesn't make any sense. So that's how I do the full demo walkthrough presentation. And then what I do is I segue to the rest of my webinar where I get ready to close, or I then segue to the actual close itself if I'm meeting with somebody one-on-one, which we'll talk about next week, and will also be in like 4.3 of your partner training, where it talks about how to close the sale. So I'm going to open this up and answer any questions you all have. I want to make sure that all your questions are answered. Now, remember, the purpose, again, I want to remind you that we do have the Platinum Partner Program, the Premier Partner Program here. There's a reason for that. The reason I'm reminding you. Well, I just showed you something that you may think is complicated, and I want you to know you have an easy solution while you're figuring this out. The only way you ever get comfortable with the presentation is to show it. And I'll tell you my dirty little secret, the first 2 years of me presenting this, every single time I presented, I walked through and did a demo to myself before I felt comfortable doing it to anybody else. For 2 years, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times I practiced before I actually pitched. So it takes a long time to be comfortable. The only way you get comfortable is to get out there and do it and see where you get tripped up and see where you have questions along the way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But again, don't miss out on money while you're doing that. At least look into Premier Partner. It's completely free for you as a partner. You could still earn up to $1,500. We do all of the work for you. It's completely done for you. So again, you still earn the commission without doing any of the work. And I tell you that because I don't want you to say, oh, wow, I'm now overwhelmed now that I know how to present, and now I'm going to shut down and not sell. I just gave you a way to make a ton of money without doing anything while you're learning and mastering this process of interviewing, presenting, and actually closing. And again, next week, we'll get into the closing aspect of this, and that's the trifecta. We know how to interview to see if somebody's a good fit, see if they have the money to pay. We know how to present, and we now have access to a ton of resources that help us present, and then we know how to close. And if you know those 3 things, then it's about practice, 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 practice to really feel comfortable in your skin. You might be different than me, but like I said, it took me hundreds of practice and real pitches to ever really feel comfortable, which is why you want to talk to as many people as you can. Rick, what's up, man? I haven't talked to you in forever. It's good seeing you, buddy. Thank you, Ty. One of your best training. I appreciate it, Rick. It's always great seeing you, man. I hope you're doing well. Ever since I haven't seen you like at the credit events in quite some time, so I miss seeing you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any questions, guys, reach out to us, support@creditsuite.com. Remember, We will help you close the sale if you need help closing the sale. We will do the sale for you with Premier Partner. You now know how to do it. So there's plenty of ways you can make money with business credit using one of those options. We're here to support you and help make it as easy as possible for you to make money with business credit. So whether we're doing the entire sales presentation and pitch for you, you're doing it, whether we're helping you, it doesn't matter to us. We just want to help you succeed. So support at creditsuite.com, and you have this really fancy, really cool tab right down here now called Contact Us, which is nice because I never forget, never remember support's phone number. Now I have support's phone number, 855-504-4122. It only took us like 5 years to figure out that putting a Contact Us tab in there might make sense. We're figuring things out. So that you can email support, you can call support right there. We will help you succeed. And again, on your homepage, you can look more into Premier Partner if you don't know much about it. I will wrap this up. If I don't have any other question, what's the best email to contact the office? There you go. I just give it to you. Support at creditsuite.com, 855-504-4122. And you can now go to contact us in your finance suite and get the billings number, finance number, advisings number, and you can also get support as well. Support is you, it's partners. As partners, you have access to support. Your end customers don't. Your end customers are either talking to advising or finance. You are often talking to billing, support, advising, and finance. So all of that stuff is under the Contact Us. Feel free to give us a call, send us an email with anything we can do to help you be successful offering business credit and financing. I'm going to wrap this up. I will see you next Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern, where we're diving into how to close the sale. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.